The papyrus, put it on my table every month. I don't wanna be sad. Don't even try to hide it. No, I don't wanna lose it. And you say how it is, it's so inviting. The papyrus, we're all so alive. The papyrus.
Hello and welcome to the Papyrus TV News Update. First, the headlines. Reps unveil new Grassroots Development Committee. APC faction demands Governor Sule's loyalty to Tinubu. Journalist exposes plot to smear Senator Natasha. Fubara reveals he is reluctant to return to office. Pope Leo XIII new speech signals return to spiritual humility. FG threatens to revoke idle mining licenses as reforms gain pace. Serap demands CBN reveal local government fund payments. The news in details. A new legislative committee focused on community and social development has been inaugurated by the House of Representatives, reflecting an intensified effort to institutionalize inclusive growth through local interventions. At a ceremony held within the National Assembly complex, Deputy Chief Whip, Representative Ibrahim Ayokunle Isiaka, stood in for Speaker Abbas Tajuddin to launch the Committee on Community and Social Development, NG Cares. Chairman, Representative Abubakar Yahaya Kusada of Katsina State, pledged the committee's active engagement with stakeholders, promising that their work would translate into tangible, measurable outcomes. We will not merely monitor, we will actively engage, Kusada said, positioning the body as a collaborative bridge between lawmakers and the communities they represent. The committee's remit extends beyond oversight of development agencies like the CSDA and NG Cares. It also claims to periodically recalibrate policies to meet the evolving needs of undeserved populations. Speaker Abbas underscored the role of such agencies in mitigating Nigeria's deep-seated poverty through decentralized participatory solutions. Data presented at the inauguration revealed that CSDA initiatives have reached more than 23 million Nigerians across 29 states, while NG Cares, backed by the World Bank, has touched over 2 million through grants, services, and infrastructure. The committee's establishment signals a shift towards evidence-driven legislative action, and the House expects its work to reaffirm public trust in democratic governance. Continuing, internal rifts have resurfaced within the north-central factions of Nigeria's ruling All Progressives Congress (APC) as party leaders in the region press Nasarawa Governor Abdullahi Sule to clarify his political loyalty. The call follows controversial comments by Sule regarding the defunct Congress for Progressive Change (CPC), now a component of the APC, in which he implied that only former President Muhammadu Buhari could determine the CPC bloc's political direction. This stance drew swift rebuttal from the North Central APC Forum, which warned that Sule's comments could be interpreted as a veiled distancing from President Tinubu's leadership. Chairman Saleh Zazaga argued that such statements risk fragmenting the CPC bloc, just as opposition forces, including Atiku Abubakar and Nasir El-Rufai, reportedly seek to pull disaffected factions into a new alliance. Zazaga defended former Nasarawa Governor Tanko Almakura as the legitimate voice of the CPC within the APC, citing his history as the bloc's only elected governor. No one can claim to be more CPC than Almakura, he said, reinforcing the forum's support for Tinubu's re-election ambitions. The tensions highlight deeper questions about party unity and regional political calculations ahead of 2027. Meanwhile, Nigerian journalist Frances Olisa Ogbonnaya has accused UK-based social commentator Sandra Duru, also known as Professor Ngbeke, of attempting to recruit her into a disinformation campaign against suspended Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan. In a viral video, Ogbonnaya alleged that Duru sent her scripted material designed to damage the senator's reputation on television, which she declined to use, citing ethical and political concerns. Ogbonnaya's revelations come after Duru publicly accused Senator Natasha of offering a 200 million naira bribe to fabricate charges against Senate President Godswill Akpabio, a claim Natasha has denied. Ogbonnaya says Duru's materials included unfounded allegations, including an absurd claim that Natasha intended to sabotage a Yoruba-led government. She further challenged Duru's version of events, stating that original audio recordings never contained denials of sexual harassment and cautioned the public against doctored content. If she releases anything different, it's a cloned version, she said, calling Duru's tactics part of a broader pattern of blackmail involving high-profile politicians. Ogbonnaya concluded by defending Natasha's alliance with figures like Obi Ezekwesili, stressing that gratitude, not control, defined their relationship. In another development, Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara has hinted that personal peace, rather than political ambition, currently defines his state of mind following recent upheavals in the state's leadership crisis. Speaking at a tribute event in Port Harcourt for the late elder statesman Edwin Clark, Fubara said he would prefer to remain out of power but feels compelled to return out of respect for those who supported him during his ordeal. In his first extended public remarks since the political rift with the State Assembly escalated in March, Fubara described the tribute as a solemn occasion rather than a political platform. "Today is not about me," he said, responding to the charged tone of some tributes delivered earlier. "This is not the time for political declarations." His comments come amid speculations over whether the governor would mount a firm comeback or quietly cede influence. But his remarks suggested a blend of personal detachment and political obligation. "Just look at me," he quipped. "I look even better now. I have peace. If I truly had my way, I wouldn't return." The message appeared to reinforce his narrative of principled resilience over political calculation. In other news, the election of Pope Leo XIV, born Robert Prevost and the first American to ascend the papacy, has drawn global attention not only to its historical novelty, but for its perceived symbolism. A former Augustinian missionary with past visits to Nigeria, Pope Leo XIV is seen by some observers as a moral counterweight to the rise of materialism, populism, and spiritual dislocation. Drawing inspiration from St. Augustine's theology, Pope Leo's early papacy evokes a call to humility and solidarity with the poor, values starkly missing, critics argue, from many contemporary Nigerian churches. The pontiff's embrace of Leo XIII's social justice legacy stands in contrast to Pentecostal preachers who in some cases have glorified wealth and mocked the poor. Referencing pastors who claim Jesus despised the poor or avoided their homes, critics of this trend say such distortions embolden criminality and diminish empathy in society. "To be poor is not a sin," one commentator wrote, adding that Christ's own life was marked by material lack and spiritual richness. For many, Pope Leo XIV's elevation serves as a reminder that religious leadership, when guided by compassion and conviction, can still inspire reform in a cynical world. Furthermore, the Nigerian government has issued a stern warning to license holders in the mining sector: develop your concessions or lose them. Director General of the Nigerian Mining Cadastre Office, MCO, Obadiah Simon Com, announced that the agency had recorded 6.95 billion naira in revenue during Q1 2025, attributing the growth to strict reforms, a fully digitalized platform, and increased enforcement. Simon Nkom revealed that 152 licenses were modified during the period, while 955 applications were received, mostly for exploration. He reiterated the use it or lose it policy, urging speculators to vacate mineral-rich land if they lack development capacity. If the deposit is not viable, relinquish the title, he said. The EMC Plus digital system, operational since 2022, has enhanced transparency and eliminated manual loopholes. The DG described the agency as a mini court that now works with anti-graft bodies and has earned commendation from the ICPC. With internal scrutiny rising, the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit also views the MCO as central to the country's removal from the global FATF grey list. A key revenue driver has been a new fee system based on land area, curbing speculation and rewarding active development. We've moved from vague promises to real transformation, Simon Nkong said, describing the reforms as a foundation for investor confidence and sustainable growth. Conclusively, the Social Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP, has asked Central Bank Governor Olayemi Cardoso to publicly confirm whether the bank has started directly disbursing federal allocations to Nigeria's 774 local government councils, in line with a Supreme Court ruling issued in July 2024. In a formal Freedom of Information request, SERAP emphasized that direct disbursement is now a legal mandate following the court's declaration that only democratically elected councils are eligible to receive allocations from the Federation account. The organization warned that ongoing diversion of funds by state governments threatens the constitutional viability of local governance. Referencing recent comments by former President Buhari, who decried widespread fraud in local council finances, SERAP urged the CBN to enforce transparency and prevent the erosion of grassroots institutions. The group also demanded full disclosure of any such payments made, especially in Rivers State, where tensions remain high between local and state leadership. If the CBN fails to respond within 7 days, SERAP said it will initiate legal proceedings to compel compliance. Disbursing to states undermines the rule of law and exacerbates poverty, the organization argued, adding that restoring the financial independence of local councils is critical ahead of the 2027 elections.
The papyrus, put it on my table every month. I don't